Your music is often sort of described as electronic. Is that how you tend to describe the music that you make?
Yes, I start with the choir samples, huh? So the vocal samples, and then that's quite classical. And because I wanted to be a little bit more commercial and more up tempo, I added some electronic beats, but it's all based on samples. So there's not one musician uh, where we made a recording of. It's all, in fact, produced in MIDI. Yeah.
Who were some musical artists that you listened to when you were growing up that had an influence on you as the artist you are today?
I think when I look at the classical music, I listened a lot of music conducted by Leonard Bernstein, huh? And yeah, an American conductor, of course. And um, in my 20s, I listened a lot to normal disco music, so also dance music, but it was structured differently in those days. But I'm still open, in fact, for all kinds of music except really the very heavy metal rock. That is not my taste, but it's not that I'm really limited to certain types of music. Yeah.
I mean, you studied classical music at a conservatory, and here you are making electronic dance music. How did your time at this conservatory sort of help you become the artist you are today?
Yeah, in the conservatory, that's long ago, and then I studied wind band conducting. Huh? So that's certainly here in this area where we live in the Netherlands. It's a cultural thing. Every village has his own wind band. So also in the conservatorium in Limburg, in that province, there's a really good department of wind band conducting. I did that as a sidestep because I work in my daily life. I worked in insurance, so I
Hmm.
did studying music. I conducted as a professional conductor for about 10 years. But government funding stopped. Orchestras are merging. So then I started to part time to go back into insurance, and I like that as well. Also the financial security. So I joined back in insurance when I was around 40, I guess. So now again for 20 years, and then you start thinking, from yeah, you're reaching the age of retiring, huh? Do you really want to stay in that position, and what would you do like to do after retiring? So then I decided, because when I was a conductor, I was involved in uh, album recording and CD recording, and I really liked that whole process. So I searched for institutes where you can really study becoming an audio engineer, and I found that at the Wisseloord Academy in the Netherlands. And Wisseloord is a very famous studio also from the past, because the Police, Mick Jagger, the Rolling Stones, a lot of big American and English bands did record their albums there. It's still an active studio. Bruno Mars, great artists still come there from America, but it's also a school, and to have an education in a environment where that's really a studio, so that you can be involved in recordings, that's already great. But the owner of the studio advised me, you have to do DAW lessons, and DAW is digital audio workstations, so programs like Ableton, uh, yeah, Cubase, Pro Logic from Apple, all those systems. I chose then Ableton. I also went in my summer holiday to an Ableton school in New York City
Oh,
to
cool.
study 3 weeks, very intense, because I really like it. There I learned working with samples, and that's in fact how it all started, also to produce electronic music. And it's my first production, and it has now, I think, 270,000 streams on Spotify. But it's also already, I get reactions. It's played on radios in Mexico, Brazil, Peru. So it's very strange. Um, and in 2.5 week times, I release a remake of this, because I got a lot of reactions. We would like it a little bit faster and a little bit more house oriented. So I made a remix
Hmm.
that's now uploaded in Spotify and will be released, I think, on the 11th of May. So it's maybe the beginning of a career. Who knows? Huh? But we'll have to see. Yeah, I have some things preparing. I'm preparing a Christmas song, really, but that's recorded with a big choir, but also
Oh, cool.
classical, classical, and then combined with beats. So we'll see how it works. Yeah, yeah.
You have the song Dance Brahms Dance out right now. Where did the idea for this come from?
Uh, when I studied conducting, it was one of the I studied wind band conducting, but it was mandatory that you sung along in the choir for the for the students of choir conducting.
Hmm.
So I had to sing along in a choir, and I liked it. But there, that was one of the songs that they used, and I really remember that song. I found the chords very nice. I found it very nice composed. It's very a sad song originally, very also by lyrics. But it always stayed in the back of my head. So when I thought from, yeah, I want to do something with vocal samples, I immediately thought, let's try the Brahms song. And in a way it worked. Yeah. Yeah.
It did. I mean, what does it mean to you to be so successful at having all those people streaming the song and really telling you, this is a hit?
Yeah. 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 It's not a hit is a big word, but I think it's for a first song. Because in fact, the reason why I released it, we had a business class at the Wisseloord Academy, and it was all about the publishing rights and registering at the local music authority. And they explained what an aggregator is, where you who uploads it for you on Spotify. And I thought my
Excuse me.
first goal is really that Christmas song, but you have to test the whole process in front. So I wanted to release at least one number so that I could test the whole process of creating a Spotify artist profile, all those things. There's a lot involved, and if you're not prepared, you will not reach your deadline. So it's very, I think, from an organization point of view, it's really good that I did that. So now I'm prepared for the second one, and yeah, to see what's happening. Yeah.
Do you have a typical songwriting process, a way that you go about crafting music you make every time, or is it different every time?
It's different every time, but during the COVID period, when we were all locked in our house, I did an online study composing in London. And so then you get a more open view. You can approach it on different ways. I really want also to write a song with lyrics, find a female artist who wants to sing it, but also do the whole production here in the home studio and then go to Whistler to record the vocals. Uh, there are a lot of fellow students who are. I'm clearly the oldest student at that academy, um, who are young singer songwriters, and they do beautiful things. But I think if it was produced better and there was a better musical background behind it, I think it really could be successful. So I hope we can combine those skills. Yeah.
Are you fully hands-on with the production, or do you work with someone? Is everything just you?
This one was only just me. Only it's mastered by one of my teachers of the Wisseloord Academy. But I work along now together in the singer-songwriting classes and also the productions classes. You start to work in teams, so you find the people where you would like to collaborate with. Um, and I also hope to pick a vocal track of a very famous artist and just make a whole new arrangement under it and to see if they give the consent to release it or they want to use it. So I'm working on a vocal track now from Rihanna that we used during the classes, and I made a totally string arrangement under it with violoncello. It's a very up tempo song, and I really did cut the vocal tracks in many pieces. When it's ready, I cannot do anything with it without consent. So then we will have to see if I can get a label to support it, and then reach out to the label that has the rights now. But we will see. But this also the whole road to coming to that end product is very interesting. Yeah.
What's next for you? You talked about possibly crafting a Christmas album, or you've been working sort of that music as well. Is there an EP or maybe an album in the work for you as well?
Now, I want to start making more songs in the background that I don't immediately release and produce. Um, I'm still have a full-time job, so I think I'm really thinking about taking 2 months sabbatical at work, really to focus totally on this, so that I really can see what is possible. Because now, when you have to do it in the evening and in the weekends, it's I don't. I, I would like to spend more time on it, and that's a way to do that. I really hope that you then can see that you go into a certain direction when it's all bits and pieces. You don't hear your own creative voice yet, and I really want to find out what really are my goals and strong points, and it's a process. I didn't think that this would all go that fast. I thought I released this song and it will be have maybe 100 streams or 200 from some friends. But there
Wow.
was one day that had 40,000 streams on one day, and that was really strange. And I was driving in the car, and I heard my own song on the radio. That's very strange. Yeah, yeah,
What did that mean to you?
yeah. It's unreal in a way, and but yeah, I think. So I used Groover. I don't know if you know that Groover is
Yes.
a company where you can upload your song and they send it to a lot of curators and you get feedback. And I think there was really one negative feedback of all of them. They said this is just a joke. This is not a production. From you just copy a choir song and put some beats under it. Now I did the vocals, produced them note by note, did the expression note by note. So yeah, that person didn't realize how the process went, but that's okay. But a lot of reactions are positive, but say it's not in our style or it's not fitting our playlists. But
Mm.
also very detailed, very good reactions. Like for instance, you are one, but also now a Chinese company who wants to use it for a commercial, so that they are reaching out to me. It's very strange. Suddenly, it's all over the world, very limited. But when I think it's now streamed in 72 countries. Yeah, and you don't expect that, and that's the power of the internet. Yeah.
Who would you love to collaborate with on a song then in the future?
Uh, that's a very good question. I would like to do a real American country song, yeah, but in a modern style, yeah. Um, can't mention a name now that I think from that's really one of my uh, yeah artists I see possible. I'm a big fan of a band from Texas that I often visit, and that's Edie Brickell and New Bohemians, and I really like them, and I really like her voice, but I don't think she is into singing something like this in electronical style. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I want to take it step by step. Otherwise, I become over enthusiastic, and then you can also become disappointed when it takes longer. Yeah.
Well, what would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the incredible music you make?
Yeah, I'm very grateful, and I'm really appreciate that people take the effort really to listen to it. Some people streamed it more than 40 times, I see, and also appreciate that people really react positive and give feedback. I'm also afraid always when you start on social media that you can get some very nasty remarks, because there are always people who say you shouldn't touch classical music, but I didn't get one negative response until now. Yeah, so and that's good. Yeah, so I'm very grateful for that.